I am making this video sharing with you my secrets on how to make a book soap. So I wanted to show you my daughter Ella's book. It's Pride and Prejudice, and she loves this book. She loved it so much that she wanted to make a book soap of it. And this is just to show that you can make a book soap out of anything. This one, she has stamped All Things Grow with Love. She was 14 when she made it, and it made a beautiful book soap. She keeps this one in her book cabinet. So these are my book soaps. They're called Bethlehem Books because I live in the town of Bethlehem, New Hampshire. And I'm showing you here that the mica powder really doesn't smudge. It's put on with alcohol, mica painted on with alcohol, makes beautiful soap. My soap tool here comes from creamyobsession.com. And you can see the bevel tool right there, the top one with the tighter edges. When I put it into the tool to use, I take it all the way down to the heaviest cut. Now the second knob that I'm using here actually tightens the tool to the tool. So you can see with my thumb here showing you that it is a nice deep cut into the soap. And these are the soaps that I'm using. It's called Happy Botanical on my website, ashes-2-beauty.com. And I'm going to turn this soap into the Bethlehem book. I got this planer here on Amazon. You got to be careful with these planers because, I mean, it's like a mandolin slicer. It'll slice your thumb open. Don't ask me how I know that. But that top was uneven, and now I am going to be beveling the sides to make a nice smooth book because these soaps are specialty soaps, and I want that to have a nice, that cover of the book to have a nice smooth finish. And it's ready to go. So here's the star of the show, the beveler, and you're going to see me hold my thumb a certain way on this beveler. It is so that it doesn't take away that edge when I'm beveling the tool on bars that are getting really, really hard. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to hold my thumb on the edge of that bevel and make that bevel. You can see how well it turns out. Look at that. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bevel, and that's the beginning of your soap process. Now here is a hair trimmer tool. It has the teeth on the comb. I can also use a dog hair comber, and I'm going to show both of these on the video here. But here you want to line the tool up to the edges there because that's where it starts your pages, and you're just going to drag that across, and it is going to create the pages of the book. Doesn't that look beautiful? Beautiful pages. And so you just drag it along. If you don't like the way the first one looks, drag it along the second time, and you have beautiful pages now on your book. And you can scrape those little bitty soap pieces away. And now I've got the second bar. I'm going to show you the whole process all the way through. I'm planing it. Then I'm going to put it through the beveler. And I didn't like that first pass of the bevel, so I'm going to pass it through one more time on the bevel, and then I like that pass much better. Very, very beautiful. This time I'm going to use the dog hair tool. And sometimes with that handle on the leverage, it really makes it easier to do the soap, but it makes a finer pages. You see that? The finer pages there, and that's what it scraped off for the soap. Now you have a beautiful book. You can leave your book at this point if you want to. If you don't want to highlight it at all with mica powder, it's done. It is now beveled to be a book soap. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Now for when I like to highlight my soaps, I'm normally a botanical person, using botanicals to color my soap, but I like to use a covered ice tray, and the color that I use for those gold pages is, I got this one on Amazon. It's 24 karat gold. I've had it for years, and that's the color in the ice cube tray. And for now the binding of the book is a different color, and I use 3 different colors. If they're from Nurture Soap, I use the adamant olive, I use the lustrous brown, and I use the summer crush, and I mix all 3 of those together and into one to create an older looking color for the binding. Now this part that I'm showing you right here, Get in the camera, please. Right there. There's like a hole in a book that I'm trying to do right here. This area right here of the book, that's what I'm trying to mimic. I use this, the Nurture Soap Lustrous Brown and a graphite gray mica to darken that up to create that dark tone of my book. And then the red, you want to be careful when you use red micas, is that line on that red book. For this one, I mixed two. I used a wine mica that I had gotten on Amazon and a hot pink. And when you mix those two together, you can get a beautiful red for mica painting. But I'm showing you an example here that you see how it goes on my hand and it looks beautiful like that. And then there's another red mica that I'm getting ready to show you here, and I'm going to put it on my hand. And the reason I'm giving you this example is because this mica washes off in the first thorough use. Now, when I wipe this off my hand, you're going to see a difference right there. That second red mica stained my hand. And because I am mica painting the soaps, I want an easy wash off mica that washes off thoroughly and when they decide to use the soap bar. So want to be mindful of that. Right there, I just showed you the different sizes of the binding of the soaps. It doesn't matter. It's okay. My soap cutting tool doesn't always cut easily. So this is the star of the show, the rubbing alcohol. That is what I mix with mica powders to be able to paint on the soaps. And for that mica powder not to smudge. And this is the size of the paintbrush. I got my paintbrushes from Dollar Tree. And so I start painting the binding, and you're going to see me go boop, 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 boop down the soap because that makes a little, it makes it look old. You know, I'm going to slow down the video here in a moment so that you can see me going boop, boop, boop down the soap so that there's no mica painting streaks. It's a boop, boop, boop. There's the painting, and here's the boop, 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 boop. And it makes that binding look older. The next thing I'm going to do is do the pages. Now, it's the paintbrush that I'm using. You just swipe it down the page lines, just on the lines, not anywhere else. And it really highlights those. You'll be able to see a little bit later on in the video that I wipe a little bit off because sometimes a little bit too much gets on your hands, and nobody wants mica powders on you. Nobody wants glitter everywhere. But anyway, I'm showing you how I paint those pages to highlight them, to make them look amazing. That's the paintbrush that I use for that hole in the binder of the book. And here we go with that lustrous brown and that graphite. Get in the camera, please. Yeah, and we're going to paint those sides. Now, sometimes you'll see that the mica powder runs into those pages just like it did here. All you have to do is go back over it with the gold. You see that? And it covers it right up. Isn't that beautiful? And I'm cleaning up some of the spots on the soap. Now the next part is the red. You're just going to make that red line. Boop and boop. And it's done. Boop and boop. And you finished highlighting your entire book. I'm going to show you that you're going to clean up here. I'm going to slow the video down here in a little bit too. I'm going to, that's how much mica I got off of just the cover pages of the book. Sometimes when you're painting, it leaks over. And so you're going to cover up those edges, making it perfect. You spend about 20 minutes on this book. So that's why they're $9.99 on my website, because I put a lot of effort. That's Crafter's Choice, a white mica. I got this stamp on Amazon, and I want to slow the video down here for you too. When you stamp it, you want to make sure that those letters are right, because you wouldn't want to stamp the soap and the letters to be backwards. So always, always, always test. You're going to tap it in the mica powder, boop, 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 extra mica off, and stamp where you want it. There you go. And making sure that the letters are nice and right. And you have it. You're going to spritz it with the rubbing alcohol to set that mica right. And there are the soaps. And here I am. You have these beautiful book soaps by putting in that little extra. And they're ready to be looked at and seen. And then after the first thorough use of water, that mica comes off. And I took that book and turned it into that. Isn't it beautiful?